For question number 7, you'll be focusing on space. You're currently watching this video, but use this presentation to create an example of space. Let's look at the definition of space before we answer the question. Space is the perspective, which means distance between and around, and the proportion, which means size, between shapes and objects. So, a two-dimensional artwork has positive and negative space. In other words, if these figures were the positive space, the background would be the negative space. So positive means something that's coming forward, and negative space means what is in the background. In a three-dimensional artwork, it has open and enclosed space. So if this figure was standing in reality here, this would be the enclosed space, and this would be the open space. These examples focus primarily on the two-dimensional example of positive negative space. So if we think about objects that are drawn, objects that are lower on the page are usually closer, objects that are higher on the page are further back, as well as you can see less of them. There's also something called atmospheric perspective. Things that are closer to you are usually more clear as well as dark, and as they go further back, they get lighter. There's also a depth of field element that you see in video and photographs, as well as other artwork. So an image that is really crisp, part of the object that's really crisp is in focus, and the object that is in the background can be unfocused. And then you have something like a fresco painting or other artwork that has been filled in a three-dimensional space, even though it's flat, that creates the illusion that it is actually there in reality. So if you look at the Sistine Chapel ceiling, if you stare straight up, it really does appear realistically as if these figures are floating above you based off of your perspective or where you're standing. And then you can create optical illusions. M.C. Escher or Banksy, who creates artwork that creates an optical illusion or impossible reality. Now that we've seen some different examples of space, let's answer the question. You're going to be watching this video and draw a perspective landscape. This perspective landscape is going to include a horizon line, vanishing points, examples of overlap, as well as size change. This video here is going to be focusing on how to create perspective or space two-dimensionally. Once you're done with your artwork, insert the photograph into the right column here.